with our Protoss player to the bottom right. It is Trust. And his opponent starts to the top left. For incredible miracle, we have YoDa.
Good match so far. A lot of back and forth action that last game, but once YoDa took that base out, things snowballed. The question now becomes, what is YoDa going to do? Because for Trust on this map, this is not a good map for Protoss all-ins, I feel. It's a map where even 2-base all-ins don't work out very well. With timing pushed with Colossi, with that secondary ramp, the way it works and the way the third base works on this map, how difficult it is to attack, I don't think he's gonna be doing the timing.
Well, one of the things that we already know is that whoever advances in this game is going to face Marine King in the third round of Code. So that would be another Terran player waiting here. And the match between Marine King and then either Trust or YoDa is going to determine who is going to play in the next season of Code S.
Yep. Now, YoDa is going to start his barracks here. The question is, does he take his gas? I really feel that on this map, this is a great map for that siege tank push with Marines, and with or without Banshees, it's still strong. And I think this would be a good choice for YoDa to do. He's good at doing that type of build. We've seen him do it in the past. Showing some reluctance to take his gas, though.
Well, has the minerals, doesn't use them just yet, and the scout is already on its way out, but with another supply depot, we now have the block at the front, so no scouting information for Trust.
Yeah.
Really early block here. YoDa wants to make 100% sure that there is no way for Trust to find out what's going on in the main base.
And with this, he makes Trust very in the dark. So, a build like the siege tank push is something that Trust might expect on this map, but now he's got no idea. This makes it so frustrating as a Protoss player to try to figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
Nice reaction there.
Yeah, he saw that just in time. Was about to leave with his own SCV to get information.
That's going to delay YoDa's scout, but that's all this is going to accomplish.
Yeah. Bottom right now, 780 score, and so far it really looks like YoDa is going to go into a command center now. We still have no refinery. He's banking up minerals now. He wants to get the command center out, the second one.
Yep. And he will probably do that on the low ground to chase the probe away.
With the Marine now out there, that would make a lot of sense. The second Marine is nearly there, so he can definitely do that.
Yep. And there it is. This is a great map for the command center on the low ground because the way the ramp works and how far the command center is away from the ramp itself, so even if you get up there, it's such a safe situation to be in as YoDa right now. Now the SCV sees no second gas.
And for Trust, this is really annoying, because Trust has to make the choice now of how he approaches this game. If he goes straight for his expand, if he then follows it up with a robo, or if he goes for the double gates. We've seen him use the double gates in the last game to be very, very safe here. It made it a little bit weird for him when the Banshee arrived.
Oh wow, YoDa's missed the command center, the next didn't see the probe. You're right about the gates, and you know, it was awkward for him, and he was a little bit in the dark. He still is in this game. He doesn't see the command center, so making robotics first in this game as well makes as much sense to me as making robotics first in the last game would have, but he just didn't do it.
In the main base, YoDa is following things up as you would expect in this scenario. He goes for the double gas, adds the double barracks too, will have enough production to deal with early pushes, and with his bio forces and with the double gas he can start his tech fairly soon, go into the factory, also get upgrades for his Marines, whereas Trust is just, both of them are just playing it safe at this point. Double gateway once again for Trust, not going into the robotics.
Yeah. Nice micro here.
Wow.
Taking out a lot of hit points on that Stalker. Stalker tries to turn around, but he just doesn't have the hit points to fight against the Marines anymore. You can do that when you have shields, but when you start to lose those, it's not pretty.
Keep in mind that we have the watchtowers in the middle of the map expire after a while.
Yeah, I think in fact that's 6 minutes. I think they just expired. Or is it 7? Yeah, it's 7 on this map.
Yeah. 7 minutes, few seconds left, and then the Xel'Naga watchtowers in the middle will be gone. Those two just give you so much vision. It's a little bit like on Shakura's Plateau, where the Xel'Naga watchtowers really dominate the map. Yeah. So it makes a lot of sense that later on they are not as strong anymore.
Nice denial on the SCV scout here. He's also going to start breaking those rocks down, take a third. Neither player holding the watchtowers at all on this map, and they've got 14 seconds left. YoDa with a bunker here, a decent Marine count, did not really pressure though.
Yeah, so far we don't see any attempted run-bys, any Marines that are trying to just pass the opponent's units and get into the mineral lines. He's just trying to set up his defense here, and he's going to be completely fine. He once again tries to take down the Stalker, but Trust pays a lot more attention to the second range unit. He's still poking with those 3 gates, trying to move in.
I think he's trying to fake YoDa out here, make YoDa make some additional bunkers, but he's got to be careful. You know, if YoDa actually walks down the ramp with his Marines, he can kill this army. He's lucky Stim isn't done. Well, it's not luck, but he's hitting at the right time here. He knows Stim isn't going to be done, so he can get away here. But
And YoDa actually moved out. He never stopped his SCV production, so he continuously gets new workers into the game, saturating his mineral lines. We have him in the main base now with the starport. His Stim is nearly completed, and with the double tech lab that he has, he can go for combat shield and Stim right away. He can try to hit a bit of bio timing here. Third base already building everything for Trust. Pretty early.
yeah, rocks go down here. He's got third base up early, as you said. Now he's got the ability to defend it. I like Trust's position here. He just has to be able to deal with YoDa's aggression once more. Last game, he struggled a little bit, and YoDa's going to put that similar aggression on. Now his medevacs are going to be started. This time, though, he's going to have Stim and combat shields and +1, so the attack's going to be a little bit stronger, and Trust with that third base is going to be a little bit weaker on the defense.
That means that he can really bounce with those medivacs between the 3 bases. If he finds a good opening here, he could do a lot of damage. And he's moving out. I don't think that the Observer actually saw the army itself,
No,
at least not the move out.
He saw the lack of the third, now he's going to come back into the natural zone. Oh, the army's gone.
He saw the ramp, but did he actually scout the... I didn't pay attention to the Observer movement. Did he really see the army?
I don't think so, because he wouldn't walk this far out if he saw it.
I think it was only the ramp that he scouted and the production, so he doesn't really know what's missing here.
He's
now
about
he
to
knows.
see it. The Observer will be spotted. Looks like.
That's of course an unfortunate spot here for
YoDa is
YoDa.
like, yeah, this is awkward. He's like actually being spied on right now.
Yeah. YoDa could have seen this. The Observer was still moving, but he did not really look at the minimap at that time.
Here come
+1.
the medevacs. This is still a scary push, even though it's known about.
The timing works perfect. +1 is there.
He needs Stim.
Here comes Trust. The Stim is good, but here comes the Protoss player with everything that he has, and he has
Good
quite a lot.
force fields. Yeah, the force fields changed the battle quite a bit. Without those force fields, YoDa could have still won the battle, but he wasn't able to fight with most of his units. Now he goes in for the second wave. Now there's not as much energy. Targets down the Immortal. This is huge, and now there's not a lot of DPS. There's no Zealots in this army.
That was really well done. He sees that the Immortal is exposed and he immediately goes for it, and now suddenly YoDa is turning this around.
Yeah, YoDa with some cat-like reflexes there. I'm actually imagining him in the booth with like a lightsaber jumping around, bouncing off the walls for some reason, but
Like, yeah. No, but that was really well done. At first it looked like Trust was the one to take control of the fight, but then the Immortal is exposed. The Immortal, the biggest problem for YoDa, especially for the Marauders, sees it is exposed, Stims again, goes in, takes it down. No Zealots left, and then leaves the Sentries and the Stalkers. Very weak. And again, the Immortal in a position where he can take it.
yeah, he's going to grab onto it here and knock it down. No Zealots! The Stalkers just don't have enough power against the healing of the medevacs. He just loses too much here.
The third Immortal, that is what changes the course of the
Blink
battle.
Stalkers could chase here a little bit. Nice, gets out one of those medevacs, but so many of those units that survived for Trust are low in hit points now. His tech is in an awkward position because now he's starting his robotic support bay a little bit late against the healing power of these medevacs.
And we have the third base ready for YoDa. He's currently upgrading it into an orbital command. We have enough SCVs. He's still going for the SCV production.
Yeah,
but both
60
players,
to 62, so with Mules, he's in a great position economically.
both players are now at a very decent harvest account.
My concern for Trust is that he's going for Colossi while YoDa already has Vikings on the way before the first Colossus is even started. That just gives YoDa such a great tech advantage.
It's also the upgrades themselves. We have only a single forge for Trust, whereas YoDa is on double engineering base and is getting his upgrades out there. So this is very, very annoying.
Yep. He's going to try to catch these Stalkers now he's seen them. He could have got the second one, that one down to like 1 hit point, 3 hit points. By the way, not to confuse anybody, the watchtower that you just saw is the watchtower on the edge. There's 4 watchtowers on this map. The 2 in the middle are the ones that disappear. So the watchtowers on the edges are still around.
Look at this upgrade advantage that we have for YoDa coming up now. Finally the second forge for Trust. But this is really late. Even if he continuously chrono boosts his upgrades, we will have the lead for YoDa, a significant one. in the fights. So YoDa is in a very good spot here when it comes down to the strength of his army.
Yeah, and this is important because in this matchup, usually one of the greater strengths of Protoss is having those upgrades out before your opponent. This means at the very worst, YoDa's going to be with the right army composition. He's now making 3 Vikings at a time.
Yeah. He
Viking
scanned.
is 4-1. It's about to be 7-1, that ratio.
He scanned and saw the robotic space, so he knows exactly what's going on here. We have this one pilot, though, at the left side of the map, which YoDa has to deal with at some point, because Trust is continuously using it as a forward warping point. He's a little bit lucky that, or unlucky, Trust that is, that he runs right into the Marines. So that's a bit awkward, but still.
Yeah, that's a rough pylon location. I think he should have used the pylon where he could warp in a little bit closer to the command center.
And YoDa is now looking for it. He knows, well, those zealots didn't just magically appear on the map. They have to come from somewhere.
He found the probe, now he finds a pylon. Very annoying for Trust, losing that pylon and losing the zealots as well. He starts Temple Archives now because he sees the Vikings. He's like, whoa, that's so many Vikings. I gotta switch tech here. But if YoDa attacks right now with the composition he has, he is so vastly superior that he would destroy this army. It would not even be close.
Especially the Colossi.
Yeah.
So many Vikings. He gets 3 additional ones, but he's currently looking at 10.
He's also getting Ghost too, so it's not like he's going to be in trouble when the Templars start coming out, which Storms won't be ready for a really long time.
He has everything that he needs here, and if he hits the timing well, plus 2 attack is already completed, plus 2 armor is now coming up, he will hit with 2-2 against a 1-1 Protoss army with much better composition.
Yeah. He's waiting for it. I think he wants to hit this. He wanted to be maxed with 2-2. He missed a depot, so he's not going to have a max army. He's been at 185.
He's pulling the SCVs too.
He's doing this really nice push. Great EMP there on all of the sentries. Not a single force field can go down. Only Guardian Shield. And those Colossi were just gone instantly. Yeah. Now we can land Vikings.
They just disappear. They are there for a second looking at what happens, but then they decide to get the hell out of there. Mana Mules and the army of Trust is gone.
This was pretty one-sided. We had a really one-sided day of Code A today, man.
Yeah, only 2 hours the entire day. Another Colossus is gone. And here comes YoDa moving in and claiming victory in the second game, getting a 2-0. A third Mana Mule is landing, and this time Trust takes the hint. GG.
YoDa on his way back to Code S where he feels he belongs.
Has to face Marine King now in the 3rd round of Code A.
Yep, we'll have a Terran versus Terran there for real. Getting a high 5 from mystery LGIM person, probably the coach. And this has been, like I said, a really one-sided day of Code A. Most of the matches today have been pretty fiercely imbalanced, you know, one way or the other.
And so far, we always have these 2 clashes basically in StarCraft when we are talking about the games in Korea. We always have Koreans against foreigners. When we have a foreigner in the league, Stefano is going to play within the next few days, and we have now ESF versus Caspar. And at this point, we actually saw 3 Caspar players getting annihilated by the ESF opponents. So I think we're having a quick look at our next games, maybe also at the results before we head into the next session. Here we have those games. Look at this.
2 O's all across the board with Hero, Hyun, and YoDa all advancing. Like you said, all over. All the ESF players advanced over their Kespa opponents, which is only 2
Yeah, it's only 2, not 3. Yeah, my bad.
So Hero is advancing over Avenge. Start things off. I was going to list them all. You guys already saw, and here are tonight's matches. They are crazy.
These games are going to be so good. Maru versus Sniper is one of my highlights in the second session. Then we have Yonghwa versus Creator. Lenog against Byung, also a pretty good match here. And then, of course, the last game of the day, Flash versus Ryung. That's going to be cool.
It is going to be awesome indeed.
Flash wants to finally get into Code S. He attempted to do it 2 times already. He failed both times in the up and downs. He also had no chance. Always ended up in a position where he couldn't advance anymore. This is his 3rd attempt to go into Code S. We might see him win it today. But first of all, we have, of course, a little bit of a longer break.
Yeah, 3 hours.
Yeah, 3 hours actually. Wow, we've been fast today.
We were fast. There were really one-sided games. See you guys at the evening session in 3 hours. Until then, tell your friends. See you later. Bye-bye.